Hello, welcome to my video. It's your host, 219 Ultimate Gamer 19,000, and I'm here today to present to you all the brand new 2024 Druid and how to build it. Before this video starts, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So, the Druid. Definitely a class that I've showed the least interest in when it comes to D&D, and in general, I haven't seen many, Druid enjoyers. Because the 2014 Druid is very interestingly built. It feels like most of the subclasses, at least the 2014 subclasses, were always really good at low levels, but at high levels you kind of just abandon your subclass in just favor of like casting spells, which definitely was an interesting choice on how they built a druid. But now it seems like many of these druid subclasses, well, at least the ones I've read, actually have features that you won't never use when you grow a higher level and replacing them with higher level spells. So I genuinely do think that druid's design in a general sense has gotten better, but we're not here. Stay to the end of the video because I do have a decent amount of yapping to do, especially since this is the last class I am going to be covering. So what's going to be next for my channel? Make sure to stay when the video is about to end, so then if you want to hear me yap about that. Now, let's get into the backgrounds. Overall, the druids are very interesting when it comes to their origins and their backgrounds. The ones I personally recommend are Sage and Farmer. Sage is if you want to pick up Magic Initiate Wizard to pick up Shield, which is a very powerful spell, or Farmer if maybe you're a wild shaping druid, so you probably would want to take Tough to gain that more HP. Of course, both of them can increase your Constitution and Wisdom scores, your most important scores in the game, and also for any martial-based farmers, martial-based druids, I definitely do think Farmer is just the best choice because you're probably going to be taking a lot of hits, so being a Farmer is most likely your best choice. Now for species, honestly, pick your favorite, which is kind of crazy these days. And back then, species used to be so integral to your character's design, and now it's like, you know what, pick your favorite. Like, because mechanically, none of them are doing something to where it's like, oh, if you put this on, a druid is so powerful. And none of the origin feats I feel like druids really need. It's not like a monk situation or a cleric situation where so many different builds, like, oh, like they would really benefit from this origin feat. Like for example, I've seen a lot of people are gonna be taking some combination of like Tavern Brawler, Alert, and Tough with their monks. Most people usually take like I probably recommend taking Tough and Alert because I think Tavern Brawler on a monk. It's not the worst option. It definitely the synergy is there, but this is unrelated. But yeah, I feel like many in general, honestly, pick your favorite. None of the species really benefit druids. Asmars are cool, Dragonborns are cool, Fly Speed is good. Dwarf to have more HP is, I mean, I guess, yeah, Dwarf would be nice if you're a Moon Druid, so then you can watch, so then when you watch, you have way more HP to work with. Gnomes are nice because saving throws are important to make. I think we can all agree on that. Halflings are cool because natural ones suck, but I don't know as a druid if you're really going to be rolling that much dice. I mean, yeah, there's not really like much substance when it comes to picking your species. I mean, wood elf is just flavorful if nothing else. Goliath, fire Goliath is probably going to be good for martial focused druid, so maybe take Goliath, fire giant. But yeah, overall, it's kind of really just pick your favorite. Now, for your feats and or abilities for improvements, honestly, I think picking up Warcaster is going to be a very solid option here. You most likely want Warcaster because I imagine most animals are probably going to have a higher constitution score or a higher constitution saving throw, most of your wild shape targets than you. So I assume that taking Warcaster, let's just say, because if you don't know, spoilers little, yeah, I'll be surprised if you wouldn't notice, but Conjure Matter Elementals is very broken. So I assume most Druid players are going to be using Conjure Matter Elemental turn 1, then Wild Shaping into whatever monster has the most attacks and highest Constitution saving throw. Meaning, if you can get Warcaster on top of that, you can basically allow Conjure Matter Elementals to be up and running as long as it possibly can, which is really beneficial because holy hell, that spell is beyond broken. It's the most overtuned spell in existence. No amount of homebrew can make I've legit seen homebrews that are OP as hell weaker than that spell. And that's saying a lot because people love powerful homebrews. So yeah, it is Yeah, so I think Warcaster is definitely a must-have, and Sparring Leader can work very well if you are like an Arch Druid type of character, or maybe you are going to be a leader of the Era Shari or something of that nature. So I definitely do think Inspiring Leader can also work. Aside from that, Ritual Caster to pick up some Wizard Rituals if you really feel like you need to. And aside from that, honestly, kind of pick your favorite. I mean, Fade Touched is very thematic, and maybe if you're playing a more darker, edgier druid, and taking Shadow Touched probably also works. But yeah, I think it's just Warcaster is the most important spell you can take almost no matter what druid. Because every druid wants to keep a concentration on stuff like Sunbeam, Hold Person, Hold Monster, Dominate Monster, stuff like that, like druidic spells. So I'm assuming that just being able to keep up your concentration is probably going to be very important. So Warcaster, I think, is honestly your must pick. Now, let's get into subclasses. And the first one we'll be taking is Circle of the Land Druid. Now, originally, Circle of the Land Druid was pretty damn bad. I think I played through Baldur's Gate 3 like 8 to 10 times fully, and I've played a Druid probably like 2 or 3 times, and they've either been. No, I think they've all been Circle of the Moon Druids that would wild shape into owlbears with Tavern Brawler and just slice through enemies. Or I think I have played some land druids before, but I don't. I think no, no, no. I think they've all been wound druids. Yeah. So that just goes to show that land druid is not very good. The problem with the original land druid was the fact that you can only pick one spell list, and not all spell lists were really that good. And overall, that just being your main feature. Also, aside from that, you weren't getting much class features of notice. You never got like a really interesting feature like aside of your expanded spell list, which I mean, yeah, is cool. But there are subclasses now that just clerics already got one completed for free and still got a bunch of cool class features. So that being the Landruid's whole shtick was pretty tiresome to most. Now, it has gotten a lot better. Now, when you finish a long rest, you can choose one type of arid, polar, temperate, or tropical land, and every long rest you can swap them out, meaning you're no longer restricted to a type of land, which honestly I love. I love this, you kind of being like the avatar of the lands or of the earth. I really like the idea, and I think it can provide some very cool character moments. Your choices for arid land are blur, burning hands, and firebolt at third level. Also, all these spells you learn them and you always have them prepared, but they don't go against the amount of spells you can have prepared. Whatever. So yeah, Blur, Burning Hands, and Firebolt. I mean, Blur can be pretty nice. Burning Hands and Firebolt are just cool for being able to burn stuff. Fireball at 5th level is very nice. Blight at 7th level. I'm not the biggest fan of Blight. I know some people really like Blight, but I'm pretty meh on it. And level 9 you get Wall of Stone. Again, not the worst choices. I think Fireball and Blur are doing some very heavy lifting, but we'll see. Next we have Polar Land. Now with Polar Land you get Fog Cloud, Hold Person, Ray of Frost at 3rd level, Sleet Storm at 5th, Ice Storm at 7th, and Kona Cold at 9th. This honestly probably might be the best spell list in my opinion. Fog Cloud, Hold Person, and Ray of Frost, all pretty good. Hold Person being very good. Sleet Storm against an enemy of casters that are all like concentrating on something can be very broken, and Ice Storm and Kona Cold just being two really solid spells that I love abusing in Bard's Gate 3, especially in BG3. Next, we have Temperate Land. You get Misty Step, Shocking Grasp, and Sleep. Sleep has been changed now, so it's not like the old version. I think they have to fail two, I think, con saves in a row, then they fall asleep. I think if they fail the first one, they're incapacitated, and then if they fail the third one, they're sleeping. So take that into account. Misty Step is just really good. Misty Step is one of the most really like honestly Misty Step is just the most versatile spell in the game. I feel like anyone can take it. Almost any build can use Misty Step with pretty good, with pretty good results. And picking up something like Shock and Grasp is situationally useful. Druids now do have their own blasting cantrip. I think it's Starry Wisp. It's like I think it does a D8 and I think it illuminates someone. I'm not really sure, but I know it does D8. So yeah, druids now do have their own blasting cantrips. So picking up Ray of Sickness, Shocking Grass, Fireball, and Ray of Frost have less value, but still, they're still nice. Level 5 Temperate Druids get Lightning Bolt, which is pretty good. Freedom of Movement at level 7, which can be really useful in certain situations, especially in underwater combats, and Tree Stride at 9th level. Tree Stride is one of those spells I feel like every druid wants to take, but like when they read it, it's like, this is so situationally useful. I don't want to waste the spell choice on that. Now with Tropical Land, you gain access to Acid Splash, Ray of Sickness, and Web. Web and Ray of Sickness can be. I mean, I've seen a lot of combats be ended by Web, so Web is a very powerful spell. Stinking Cloud at 5th level, Polymorph at 7th, which is very good, and Insect Plague at 9. Overall, the best one here probably is Polar Land. I mean, Hold Person, Ice Storm, Sleet Storm, Code of Cold are just really powerful spells. So I do definitely think Polar Land is probably the best. And I feel like many people on occasion probably take Arid Land once they reach 5th level because Fireball is so much fun. I can definitely see some people taking Temperate because Misty Step and Lightning Bolt might be really useful in certain scenarios. Now, seemingly like clerics, every single druid subclass now basically gets a use of their wild shape that is really similar to like a channel divinity. I think I'll read out the feature, maybe you'll get what I'm saying. Lands 8 at 3rd level. As a magic action, you can expend a use of your wild shape and choose a point within 60 feet of yourself. Vitality giving flowers and life draining thorns appear for a moment in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point. Each creature of your choice in the sphere must make a constitution saving throw against your spell save DC, taking 2d6 necrotic damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. One creature of your choice in the area regains 2d6 hit points. The damage healing increases by a d6 when you reach druid levels 10 and 14. Overall, this is a pretty solid feature. I definitely do think at lower levels you probably will be using this very often. I mean, this is yeah, I mean this is pretty damn good AoE at least. Just being able to a 10-foot radius, yeah, that's actually some pretty damn good AoE. I mean it's not like fireball levels of AoE, but at 3rd level, that's pretty damn good. Also being able to heal one creature as well. Okay, the creature you want to heal does have to be in that area. So I mean, maybe if your paladin went down and he was fighting like 3 goblins, you could use your land's aid and then just gave your paladin 2d6 healing. Honestly, in certain scenarios when you can't cure wound someone or want to get into the fray of combat, I think land aid is going to be a very powerful choice. And overall, a good pick for lower levels. At higher levels, it might fall off a little bit, but I think at lower levels, it's going to be pretty damn solid. Now we have Natural Recovery. You can cast one of your level 1 spells that you have prepared from your Circle Spells feature without expending a spell slot, and you must finish a long rest before you do so again. I'll read the rest of the feature, then we'll go over all the first level circle spells and see what they can do. In addition, when you finish a short rest, you can choose an expended spell slot to recover. The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less than your druid level, and none of them can be 6th level. For example, if you're level 6 druid, you can recover up to 3 levels worth of spell slots. You can recover a level 3 spell slot, a level 2 spell slot, and a level 1 spell slot or 3 level 1 spell slots. Once you recover spell slots with this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Overall, the second part of the feature is really nice, and I'm pretty sure druids already got that at a earlier level. I know Baldur's Gate 3 land druids did get that, but the first level feature, let's see. I mean, being able to cast Burning Hands, Fog Cloud, Sleep, or Ray of Sickness for free, none of those are really calling out to me very much. Um, I think the first part of it is a little meh, but definitely the second part is pretty damn nice. It gives you some short rest recovery, which you are definitely in need of, and also it gives you access to 4 fireballs if you take a short rest, which is always gonna be very fun. Now we get Nature's Ward. You are immune to the poison condition, and you have resistance to a damage type associated with your current land choice in the Circle Spells feature, as shown in the Nature Wards table. If you pick Polar, you have resistance to cold damage, Arid resistance to fire damage, Temperate resistance to lightning damage, and Tropical resistance to poison damage. Now this may be very interesting because I didn't notice one thing is like if you're fighting a red dragon, you probably want to take Arid, but this does mean if you're fighting a red dragon, they are most likely immune to fire. So having Fireball, Burning Hands, I mean you do have stuff like Blight as well, but that's Blight's icky. So I low key do kind of wish that some of these are like swapped. Like maybe if you picked Polar, you're resistant to fire. If you picked Air, you're resistant to cold. If you picked Temperate, you're resistant to poison. Tropical, resistant to lightning. I feel like that it would have made more sense. Because if you're getting resistance to fire damage, you're probably going up against a creature that's going to be dealing a lot of fire damage. So they're most likely immune to fire, or like vice versa with everything else. I don't know. I kind of wish they were changed, but still, I mean, in a general sense, being able to launch fireballs and resist enemy fireballs, or being able to fireball yourself and being relatively fine with the consequences, honestly, still isn't bad. But I just wish they would have changed it. But again, I may be reaching a little bit depending on who you talk to. Who knows? At level 14, you get Nature's Sanctuary. As a magic action, you can expend one use of your wild shape and cause spectral trees and vines to appear in a 15-foot cube on the ground within 120 feet of yourself. They last there for a minute or until you have the incapacitated condition or die. You and your allies have half cover while in the area, and your allies gain the current resistance of your nature's ward feature. As a bonus action, you can move the cube up to 60 feet to the ground within 120 feet of yourself. Pretty damn nice. I mean, being able to give a party-wide resistance to fire, cold, lightning, or poison, depending on what you pick, can be very nice. If you don't know you're going up against a poison dragon tomorrow, then maybe picking tropical and just using Nature's Sanctuary. Honestly, I think Nature's Sanctuary might be one of those things where I think Nature's Sanctuary might be like one of those things you do start the round. Like, oh, with my turn, first thing I do, Nature Sanctuary, boom, everyone head to here. When the dragon's about to do his fire breath, or when, I don't know, oh yeah, I guess, dragon's using his fire breath, or the cloud giant's about to do his lightning storm ability. So overall, I do definitely think Nature Sanctuary, depending on your combat, might be a very broken feature or might be a pretty underwhelming feature. No matter what, I feel like it's still going to be pretty damn nice. I mean, also, half cover is very powerful too. So honestly, yeah, I think in most combats, Nature's Sanctuary is probably gonna be very good. In some combats, it might be meh. But I definitely do think in combats where you go up against elemental creatures, you're definitely gonna be cooking with Nature's Sanctuary. Now we have circle forms and the Moon Druid. So that's the Land Druid. Um, Honestly, it's better than it was. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's not. Your 14th level feature is very flavorful, very powerful. Your game resistances is nice. I just kind of wish they were changed a little to make more sense in actual combat. But that's such a nitpick. And the spell list did just genuinely get improved. There are some pretty good spell lists. So yeah, now let's get into the Moon Druid and their first level 3 feature, Circle Forms. You can channel lunar magic when you submit wild shape, granting you the following benefits. Challenge rating. The maximum challenge rating for the form you can enter equals your druid level divided by 3. Same as always. And now we have some newer features. Armor class. Until you leave this form, your AC equals 13 plus your wisdom modifier. If that total is higher than your beast's AC, trust me, it will be higher than the beast's AC. That's actually pretty damn good. I mean, most beasts I feel like had an AC of like 12 or 11, maximum 15, I think is the highest I've seen. And those are really high druids with 15 AC. And I mean, at high levels, 15 is basically nothing. So you're basically just going to be getting absolutely crushed by most monsters you face. So being able to just give yourself an AC that is going to be better. I mean, just 13 flat AC is already better than half of your wild shape options, if we're being completely honest with us here. So I do definitely think a 13 plus your wisdom modifier, you're going to be pretty damn solid. I mean, having an 18 armor class at and your wisdom modifier is at 5 is just really good. Now, temporary hit points. You gain a number of temporary hit points equal to your 3 times your druid level instead of 1 times your druid level when you wild shape. Now, if you don't know, when you wild shape, you no longer take on the hit points of the monster of the beast you turn into. Now you just gain temporary hit points equal to your druid level, or 3 times the druid level if you're a moon druid. I mean, when you get this feature, your 3rd level, you'll be wild shaping into a creature and you'll get 9 temporary hit points. 9 temporary hit points at 3rd level is probably enough to brunt either half of like a decent hit. Well, I mean, I feel like 9 is enough to at least take like 1 hit and maybe have some left over, or take 2 really weak hits. Again, like the druid's tankiness has been significantly shot down, so that's why I do recommend taking stuff like farmer dwarf, so then you can just have so much HP that it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I do definitely think the armor class is really nice, but the amount of HP you're losing here is very palpable. So take that as you will. But now you have gotten a massive buff in Wild Shape. You have Circle of the Moon spells. Now these are spells now you always have prepared, which is pretty nice. But here's the thing also. You can cast these spells while you are wild shaped. So that means you can cast Cure Wounds, Moonbeam, and Starry Wisp when you're wild shaped at 3rd level. 5th level Conjure Animals. 7th level Font of Moonlight, which is a very powerful spell, especially with wild shapes. And 9th level Mass Cure Wounds, which is again a just really solid spell inside or outside of wild shape. Overall, this is a really good list. I mean, Cure Wounds, Moonbeam, Starry Wisp. Oh, Starry Wisp is the Druid's new attack cantrip. It does like a D8 plus something. I think it's just a flat D8. Well, it scales, of course, but yeah, overall, very good list. I mean, Conjure Animals did get a change. It's now a saving throw instead of an attack roll. I kind of liked the fact that it was an attack roll. It was just something different. And also having to make enemies make saving throw, and that's just pretty boring. Font of Moonlight does give you an extra 2d6 damage to every melee attack you make as a druid. So if you're wild shaped into a monster that has a very high what is it called? Very high amount of attacks, then oh you're gonna be cooking very much. Also, I mean, you do gain Conjure Matter Elemental at 7th level, so I imagine the Moon Druid play once you reach 7th level is, first of all, cast Conjure Matter Elemental, wild shape into a bear, saber-tooth tiger, whatever you want to wild shape into. And then, if Conjure Elementals does fall, on your turn, you probably just cast Font of Moonlight, and then, I don't know, just bugger off. I don't know, use Font of Moonlight. So, I mean, having Font of Moonlight as a backup when your Conjure Matter Elementals does fall allows Druids to, pretty damn nice. Now, at level 6, you get improved circle forms. While in wild shape form, you gain the following benefits. Lunar Radiance. Each of your attacks in wild shape can deal its normal damage or radiant damage. You make those choices each time you hit with those attacks. You can add your wisdom modifier to your constitution saving throws. This is pretty damn nice. Well, you only get these benefits while you're in wild shape. Meaning, most monsters probably will have a better constitution saving throw than you do, so now you can add what will be a +4, assuming you're doing standard point buy, at this time to an already elevated constitution saving throw, plus with Warcaster available. Many creatures are not going to be able to knock you out of concentration. So, I mean, I think once you get up that Conjure Mal Elemental, I don't think it's going to be coming down very often. I think, yeah, that's a very powerful feature. Very strong, very good 6th level feature. Now, at your 10th level, sadly, I hate to inform you all, but you can no longer you can no longer turn into a elemental. I know, it sucks. I know the cities are rioting, but you do now get a pretty cool ability, Moonlight Step. You magically transport yourself, reappearing amid a burst of moonlight. As a bonus action, you teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see, and you have advantage on the next attack roll you make before the end of this turn. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of once, and you gain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You can also regain uses by expending a 2nd level spell slot, no action required. So, this does not state you can use it in wild shape, which is pretty weird. So I don't know if you can use this in wild shape. I think you may be able to use this in wild shape. I don't know. Oh, damn it. The thing is, I recorded my Druid video like a couple days ago, so yeah, you're allowed to use class features while in wild shape, I think. Okay, so I'm assuming you're gonna be able to use this in wild shape, so I'm just get that out the way. I mean, being able to wild shape and and Misty Step is very nice, and also just getting the Misty Step spell basically for free is also really nice as a druid. It is a 10th level feature, however, so it is a little pricey, but also getting advantage on your next attack roll is pretty nice. I mean, you are 10th level, meaning your Conjure My Elementals did get a buffed scaling, so I mean, now as a druid, your best course of action might be Conjure Mad Elementals casted, then use Moonlight Step to Misty Step back, and then Wild Shape yourself into an animal with using your bonus. Okay. No, I think your best course of action might be Conjure Mad Elementals on your action, Wild Shape into a beast as druid. That's your first turn. Second turn, You run up to the enemy, use Moonlight Step to teleport to them with advantage and start clawing into them. I, I think druids might be moon druids might still be very solid damage wise. Tankiness, they've been gutted, but everything else they seem to have improved quite greatly. At level 14, they get Lunar Form. The power of the moon suffers you, granting you the following benefits. Once per turn, you can do an additional 2d10 radiant damage to a target you hit with a wild shape form's attack. When you use your Moonlight Step feature, you can also teleport one willing creature. That creature must be within 10 feet of you, and you teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 10 feet of your destined space. Damn, the Moon Druid just getting buff after buff. These are really solid features, man. Wow, yeah, this is really good. Yeah, yeah, Moon Druids, massive buffs, massive facelift. I definitely do think the Moon Druid might be one of the better subclasses now, especially combined with Conjure Minor Elementals. Even if you remove Conjure Minor Elementals and that being absolutely the most broken spell in existence, I mean, you still have stuff like Font of Moonlight, which you can cast while Wild Shape. You're almost never dropping concentration on any spell you have once you're in Wild Shape. Being able to Misty Step as a bonus action is massive. Each of your attacks doing 2d10 radiant damage on top of the 2d8 they're going to be doing because of your Druid's 7th level feature, which adds more elemental damage. You're going to be one angry bear. You're going to be one powerful dinosaur. Because I assume at this level, 14. 14 divided by 3. Oh, I am way too old to not know what 14 divided by 3 is. This is embarrassing. I know, screw it. We'll look it up. 14 divided by 3. Alright, 4. You can use CR4 monsters. Being able to use CR... I assume CR4 has, like, some dinosaurs. I assume. Yeah, it has to. CR14 probably has, like, some saber-toothed tigers around. It probably has something cool. So, yeah, being able to just be like a dinosaur or a really big bear, or being a really big bear that is striking someone with just heaps of radiant damage, fire damage, and whatever your conjure my elemental is. I just like to imagine a massive bear that is just glowing with radiant hand, with like their paws are glowing with like one stack of radiant damage, the other one of fire damage, and an even bigger stack of fire damage as it's just teleporting around the map and mauling into you. Oh, that's such a cool idea. Okay, you know what? I take it back. Druids are cool as hell. Wow, I think I actually want to play a druid now. These spells. Oh, these features are just so good. Yeah, massive improvement. The wild shaping nerfs do suck, but man, our druid's just so much cooler. Our moon druid's just so much cooler. Not turning into an elemental does suck, but being a massive bear, the hands are just permanently on fire, while there's also radiant flames bursting from that. That is sick. Now the new druid, the Circle of the Sea druid. I was surprised there never was a seafaring druid. I mean, now there is. The art that is on screen is of the Circle of the Sea druid. And honestly, let's do a quick little review. It is a sea elf. I'm assuming that's a sea elf. Yeah, sea elves are blue skinned. So, which is very funny because sea elves aren't in the player's handbook. So they're showing us the picture of a sea elf, I presume, or like a merman or whatever, and they're not even in the player's handbook. Which, I mean, I just find that extraordinarily hilarious. How, yeah, here's a picture of a species that's not even the book. Have fun. I find that quite comedic. Honestly, out of all the arts, I don't know if that's my favorite. I mean, it doesn't look bad. None of the arts look bad, but I saw the Stars Druid art, and bro, it is the most beautiful thing ever. So I definitely do think of all the arts, this is one of the more lacking ones I have seen. The Paladin arts were just all beautiful. So yeah. So yeah. Now as a Circle of the Sea Druid, you do gain some new spells. At 3rd level, you gain Fog Cloud, Gust of Wind, Ray of Frost, Shatter, and Thunder Wave. Pretty good spells. At 5th level, you get Lightning Bolt, Water Breathing. Good. Control Water, Ice Storm. Good. Conjure Elemental and Hold Monster. Good. It seems that the Circle of the Sea Druid is absolutely cooking with their spell list. Not many bad spells. And all pretty good now. Conjure Elemental and Conjure Minor Elemental are two different spells. So no, Sea Druids do not get access to the broken spells. So yeah, just no, no. It seems that the Sea Druid also has their own form of like channel divinity, you could say, with their Wrath of the Sea feature at level 3. As a bonus action, you can expend the use of your wild shape to manifest a 5-foot emanation that takes the form of ocean spray that surrounds you for 10 minutes. It ends early if dismissed. If dismissed it, no action required, manifest again, or if you have incapacitated condition. When you manifest the animation as a bonus action on your subsequent turns, you can choose another creature you see in the animation. The target must succeed on a DC on your spell save DC, Constitution saving throw, or take cold damage, and if the creature is larger or smaller, to be pushed up to 15 feet away from you. To determine this damage, roll a number of D6 is equal to your Wisdom modifier. I'm so sorry for the sneeze. Thank you. Or I do think. Hey, damage on a bonus action is nice, man. Damage on a bonus action is nice. No ifs or buffs about it. Constitution saving throw isn't the best. And the aura, the emanation is a pretty small bit. Hey, for a bonus action, no concentration, just free damage. And also, if you're using spike growth, then this feature gets infinitely better if you're using spike growth. But if not, still pretty good damage. Oh, it's a number of d6s equal to your wisdom modifier. I don't know if I read it off, but yeah, the damage is a number of d6s equal to your wisdom modifier. So we can get this feature at 3d6. So it does more damage. Well, I guess that one does heal. So yeah, I can see. So 5d6 is what's most likely gonna cap out at. Overall, not bad. Next, at level 6, you get Aqua Infinity. The size of your emanation created by your Wrath of Sea feature increases to 10 feet. Pretty good. You also gain a swim speed. Honestly, kind of a letdown with 6 level features. Everything else I feel like got really cool 6 level features, and this one's kind of a letdown in my personal opinion. But hey, maybe the 10th and 14th one are better, and the 10th one seems to be way better. Your Wrath of the Sea confers 2 more benefits while active. You gain a fly speed equal to your speed, and you have resistance to cold, lightning, and thunder damage. Oh, holy! 3 resistances and a fly speed just by using your bonus action. I know you use your wild shape, but holy bro, wow. Yeah. That makes up for your 6th level feature kind of sucking. Yeah. Also, you now have a fly speed, a walk speed, and a swim speed of like 30 feet. And resistance to cold, lightning, and thunder, all using a bonus action? Okay, honestly, this subclass might be pretty good. Your 6th level feature, though, is very disappointing. Now we do have Oceanic Gift. Instead of manifesting the animation of Wrath or of the sea around you, you can manifest it around one willing creature within 60 feet of yourself. That can be interesting. That creature gains all the benefits of the emanation using your spell save DC and wisdom modifier for it. In addition, you can manifest the emanation around both the other creature and yourself if you expend 2 uses of your wild shape instead of 1. Oh, okay. Putting this on like a paladin, a fighter, putting this on a monk could be disgusting. No, they do have to use their bonus action. Okay, putting this on like a fighter, barbarian, paladin. I guess it. No, screw it, paladin. Need the bonus actions. Oh wow, yeah. Honestly, even at then, this is just so nice. Because yeah, you can just like summon this. Yeah, because it surrounds you for 10 minutes. So the monk, look, see, does use your bonus action? I think it uses your bonus action. So if you want to give your monk a fly speed resistance to cold, lightning, and thunder damage, plus they can already have almost every instance of damage in the game or fully deny it. This really adds a level utility and bulkiness to monks. Well, not barbarians because they resist all that. Well, if they're bear heart, if they're not bear heart, then hold that gives them resistances. Paladins gives them resistances. Fighter. This is just, even for your wizard, being able to fly up in the air and just hawk fireballs, lightning bolts, chain lightnings, rays of disintegration, whatever works. Honestly, Oceanic Gift with Stormborn is pretty damn powerful. I do believe the 6th level feature is pretty damn lacking, but man, that 10th and 14th level feature really do give so much. It's just damn. That 6th level feature is rough, man. Okay, let's wait. Lightning bolt and water breathing at 5th level. I don't know. I think this is definitely one of those subclasses where you're like, okay, I know this feature isn't that good, but trust me, it's really powerful at higher levels. I just wish your 6th level feature was a tad bit more interesting, more powerful. A swim speed is useful, but in some campaigns that might never get brought up, or that may get brought up every single session. So I think it's really just make sure you pick this druid in a right campaign, or if not, you may want to. Yeah, you're probably gonna leave it a little early. Next, we have Circle of the Stars Druid, which to me was always the most interesting one. I don't know, I just really like the idea that you're a druid that follows the stars. I don't know, I just always thought it was cool. At level 3, you get Star Map. You create a star chart as a part of your heavenly studies. It is a tiny object and can use it as a spellcasting focus for your druid spells. You determine its form by rolling on the star map table or by choosing one. While holding the map, you have guidance and guiding bolt spells prepared, and you can cast guiding bolt without expending a spell slot. You can cast it this way a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. You gain all uses when you finish a long rest. Blah blah blah. If you use the map, you can perform a 1 hour ceremony to remake it. It can be performed during a short or long rest, and it destroys the previous map. Okay, yeah, it's whatever. It's a little yap there. I mean, guiding bolt for free is pretty nice, especially at their level. Yeah, guiding bolt is a good spell, and guidance did get a heavy nerf, but it's still good. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. Now, we have the main meat of the stars, Druid, your starry form. As a bonus action, you can expend the use of your watch shape feature, living on a starry form rather than shape shifting. While in your starry form, you can retain your game statistics, but your body becomes luminous, your joints glimmer like stars, and glowing lines connect them on as a star chart. This form sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. This form lasts for 10 minutes. That's super cool. It ends early if you dismiss it, no action required, or the incapacitate feature, yeah, blah blah blah. Whenever you assume a starry form, choose one of the following constellation glimmers on your body. Your choice gives you certain benefits while in this form. This is so damn cool. Archer, a constellation of an archer appears on you. When you activate this form as a bonus action on your subsequent turns while it lasts, you can make a ranged spell attack hurling a luminous arrow that targets one creature within 60 feet of yourself. On a hit, the attack deals radiant damage equal to a d8 plus your wisdom modifier. I mean, hey, bonus action attacks can be pretty damn powerful. Now we have Chalice, a constellation of life-giving goblet appears on you. Whenever you cast a spell using a spell slot that restores hit points to a creature, you or another creature within 30 feet of you regain a d8 plus your wisdom modifier. That can be very useful in scenarios where there's like 3 people down. Okay, very good. A constellation of a wise dragon appears on you. When you make an intelligence or wisdom check or constitution saving throw to maintain concentration, you can treat a roll of 9 or lower as on the d20 as a 10. Wow, I mean, damn, this is good, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, these are all good, very solid. I do think, yeah, they are very similar to the levels of power as the other subclasses. Overall, really nice. I think Archer is probably gonna be the one main. Archer and Chalice are mainly gonna be used in combat. I think Dragon is gonna be really powerful outside of combat. However, now we have Cosmic Omen. Sick sounding name. When you finish a long rest, you can consult your star map for omens and roll a dice. This is literally checking your horoscope. Oh, I love this. Until you finish your next long rest, you gain access to a spectral reaction based on whenever you rolled an even or odd number. That's pretty interesting. Wheel, even. When a creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes a d20 test, you can take a reaction to roll a d6 and add number rolled. I'm assuming that's going to be used for trialize and your woe odd. Whenever a creature you can see within 30 feet of you is about to make a d20 test, you can use a reaction to roll a d6 and subtract the number rolled from this table. You can use this reaction number times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all uses when you finish a long rest. Pretty damn nice. Now we have twinkling constellations at 10th level. The constellations of your star form improve. The d8 of the archer and the chalice become 2d8. That's really nice. And while your dragon is active, you have a fly speed of 20 feet and can hover. Moreover, at the start of each of your turns while in your star form, you can change which constellation glimmers on your body. That is very nice. I mean, yeah. I mean, the archer's damage got significantly higher. The challenges, I mean, yeah, honestly, Dragon might actually now be one of the better ones. A fly speed and being able to keep up concentration. Very, very strong tempo feature now. Level 14, full of stars. While in your starry form, become partially incorporeal, giving resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. This is all instances, not just magical or non-magical, none of that garbage. Now, overall, very solid subclass by Wizards of the Coast. Honestly, I think all four of them are pretty damn nice. I do definitely think that the Land Druid isn't my personal favorite. The Sea Druid, the 6th level features could be better, but I do definitely think that the Moon and Star Druid are probably going to be the ones I use the most often because I think they sound the coolest. Overall, solid, very good. Now, if you're here to see me explain the Druid and how to build it and do all of that fun blabbery stuff, then you can get out. Yeah, make sure you have a good day. Peace. But if you're here to hear me yap a little bit about kind of my thoughts and ideas about 2024 and what direction my channel will take, then well, stay. So, if you guys didn't know, before the 2024 Player's Handbook really came out, I was doing mainly build guides. And the reason I stopped doing build guides at least is because, well, I didn't have the books on me. And I still don't have the books. I think the books officially released on the 17th for most people, and I think they also released on 17th for me. So that means next week, Tuesday, if it releases on the 17th, I think it's just next week in general, is when I'll be getting my copy of the Player's Handbook. And once I do get my copies of the Player's Handbook, I will be making build guides again on every single Thursday. So now, what will I be doing for this whole week and a half I have? I will most likely be posting maybe one or two videos, so don't expect like daily like how I was doing. I probably will release my like kind of part 2 of my Paladin video and present there my homebrew fix for the Paladin if anyone is interested in that. So make sure to like and subscribe to see what that's coming. But overall, yeah, that's kind of the direction my channel's gonna be heading. Every Thursday, from like in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be posting just straight up build guides of like my favorite build in the 2024 Player's Handbook, some interesting ones, random multi-class Thursday. At this point, it's not really random. It's kind of just what I want to build. But or if you guys have an idea for a build, make sure to leave that down below, and I will look into it. But yeah, that's kind of that's the direction of my channel. I might do like an analytical or like think or kind of like think tank videos where I kind of just propose a question, answer, and then ask you all for your guys' opinions and answers. I might do videos like that. BG3 videos honestly might not come back. They might. I mean, I didn't know mod support did just come out, but since I'm a GeForce Now user, because my PC does suck, I won't get access to mod support for who knows how long, which I am so mad about, but there's nothing we can do about it, because, my PC, he really sucks. So yeah, I most likely won't be doing VG3 videos, because honestly, I can't access mod support, and I'm not even playing the game, so what's the point? So yeah, honestly, now when it comes to the designs of the Druid and what my thoughts are, the Druids honestly are kind of in a very interesting position. Now they play a lot like clerics. Now, like past then, they didn't really play like clerics too much, but now they definitely do feel similar to clerics in almost every single way. Like it's so in like all subclasses now gain spell lists or gain extra access to spells. They all now can use their wild shapes as like almost like channel divinities. It's just overall, and even like the base class at 7th level, you can either make your cantrip stronger, make your melee attack stronger. At 1st level, you pick if you're a spell casting or melee version of the class. It's just always really interesting to me. And also, like a lot of these features, like the old channel divinities, kind of like build up. Like 10th level, your 3rd level is when you get your channel divinity. Now 10th level, it makes it stronger or gives you blah 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 or something of that notion. Overall, I just find it really interesting. The overall design choice of 2024. I do definitely. I don't like every change in 2024 Player's Handbook, and I feel like a lot of people don't. Honestly, expect a video on Friday where over I will just go on my opinions and thoughts on the new Player's Handbook and honestly just give you my ideas on like some design changes, some things I really like, some things I don't really like, and yeah, that's kind of what to expect from me from like the next 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, remember, I think so. I think next Thursday might be the first episode of season 2 of Random Multiclass Thursdays. But yeah, I think that's been it for today's video. Very long one. So if you did stay, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because you probably like my yapping. And yeah, O1019 signing out. Peace.